Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44. Welcome back to another Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the Mutant that is going to freeze all your units so you can't put on any pressure with attacks. Ha ha ha! Intimidating Mutant Darkface. So, quick thing I want to explain right before we get into the deck profile. There is a update video about Cardfight Vanguard deck profiles and stuff like that that I put up a few days ago. It'll explain more into what I'm about to tell you because I'm only going to talk about it for like a minute because I don't want to delay the deck profile because that's what you're here to see. So if you want to see the whole thing, go check out the video. It basically explains that half of the deck profiles I do are normally pretty good, but they're not like super strong decks in the meta and everything, and the other half of the deck profiles still kind of sketchy for me, and I need work on it and all that. And then there's deck profiles I haven't done, such as Darkface, who's been good for quite some time now. Like one of the best decks in the meta, and no, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It is one of the best decks in the meta, like top 5. So with that, I decided to take a more professional approach. I've been talking to my friend who goes to his locals every week or 2 weeks, and he knows a lot of people there who main lots of different decks, and very, very good decks as well. And they normally place really, really high in stuff like regionals and Springfest and stuff like that. Like they place very high, and they're very, very good. They know what's very good in the meta and everything, and they know what sucks, all that stuff. So he knows a lot about it as well, and because of that, I got the information from him. So expect more, proper deck profiles when coming to the meta. When we're looking at like, not as meta card decks, that's where I shine. That's what I've noticed, is that's where I do well, the non-meta decks. Like I know how to build them, and I do, check on stuff to make sure it's okay, like, check other deck profiles and stuff like that. But yeah, all I'm saying is I'm getting opinions from really amazing players, and I'm going to be sticking with that. So hope to see more competitive deck profiles from me with that are more accurate and in the meta and they're crazy strong, like this one. So without further ado, let's jump into the deck profile. Of course, if you want to hear me explain more about it, check out the video, as I said. Anyways, Megacolony, super strong. So our starter is Larva, Mutant, Giraffa. Now, I personally do not like running the ride chain and the starter. Well, I mean, you need the starter for the whole thing, but yeah, I don't like running the ride chain in the deck. But the ride chain is very important for the meta and everything. The ride chain is amazing. You just don't play the grade 3 because the grade 3 is crap. But the ride chain is amazing, which is what helps out the deck as well when you don't have a grade 2, or when you don't have any grade 2s or anything. And it also helps out to thin your deck a bit. You draw a heck of a lot in this deck, but yeah, it's just very, very helpful. Just a very, very, very strong ride chain, honestly. Basically, when you ride the grade 1, you get to search for the grade 2 of the ride chain and put it in your hand. So you're pretty much guaranteed the whole thing with riding the grade 1, which is very, very good. It doesn't seem that amazing at first, but it's actually insanely good. So yeah, you play that. And then onto our grade 3. So we have 4 Intimidating Mutant Darkface. What he does is G-Break 2. Counterblast, sorry, not Counterblast. Soul Blast 2. When your opponent's unit is placed on rear guard, you may pay the cost. If you do, rest that unit. That's insanely strong. So like, you just Soul Blast 2. When your opponent calls something, boom, it's rested. Okay, well, there goes that plan. It's G-Break 2 though, but still. And then it's obviously only on your opponent's turn. You're not gonna have a G unit on your Vanguard on your opponent's turn. And then another other skill is Counterblast 1. During your turn, when your G unit stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, rest them, and until end of your opponent's next turn, they get auto rearguard. At the end of your turn, if this unit is rest, your opponent may draw a card, and those units cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So basically, I did get confused with this skill at first when I first read it, and then I understood it. Your opponent's card get that effect, so that means you get to draw a card. So if you rest 2 cards, rest 2 of their rear guards, and they can't stand, you get to draw 2 cards. And basically, if they can't stand until after your stand phase, but you drew the cards, and they're not going to stand because it's your turn. So you basically get to rest 2 cards and get a +2, which is really, really good. Amazing grade 3 card. Yeah, I got confused at first. When your opponent's rear guard gets an effect by you, and it does something for you because it says opponent, that's when it gets a little confusing. But I reread it, understood it. So yeah, amazing card. And then we have 4 Machining Tarantula Mark II. His Legion mate is Machining Hornet Mark II. And what he does, Counterblast 1 when this unit, when this card drive checks, reveal a card with the same name as a unit on your Vanguard circle. If this unit is in Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose all your opponent's Vanguard, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So that's really strong. Very, very good backup Vanguard. Instead of resting rear guards, drawing cards, you just basically say, oh yeah, you're not going to get the drive check next turn, because your Vanguard can't stand. So yeah, a very, very, very solid backup Vanguard. And the Legion's really important too, because of the fact that you'll deck out pretty fast. So the Legion's very, very nice. On top of that, and then his other skill, Soul Blast 2 Machining. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. You normally don't get this effect off. The only way really is if you did another Legion on top of him, and you have both the grade 2 and him inside, but then you'd have to have the other grade 2. So you normally don't get that off. That's not your main focus of the skill. You normally focus on your Legion skill to not let your opponent's Vanguard stand, but it's also about putting cards back in the deck. So yeah, your deck will be really thin at that point. It's really easy to do it. Anyways, moving on to Great Sues. So we have 4 of the best card in this deck. This card's so OP. Fascinating Mutant Sweet Cocktail. What she does is G-Break 1. Counterblast 1 when this unit attacks Vanguard. If this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, rest it, and until end of your opponent's next turn, it gets auto rearguard. So this is the same thing as Darkface. It gives your opponent's rearguard an effect after your opponent's rearguard. After that rearguard gets rested by your effect. And at the end of the turn, if this unit is rest, your opponent may draw a card. That unit cannot intercept until end of turn, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stands phase. Because, as you can see, how these abilities work, at the end of your opponent's turn, you get to draw a card if it's still resting. But since it can't intercept, it basically can't do anything unless you want to call something over it. But yeah, this card's amazing because it doesn't let it intercept. Darkface, you can, but Darkface can aim for, well, they can all aim for back rows. But you normally try to focus the front row to try to make your opponent call out stuff in the front row or intercept or something to just kind of force that. And then we have 3 Buster Mantis. What it does is G-Break 1 when this unit attacks. If all your opponent's Vanguard and Rearguard are rest, this unit gets power plus 1000 until end of the battle. So he's just a 12k beater. Pretty handy in this deck, honestly, especially with what you do. Your opponent's units will always be at rest because it's the end of their turn. So yeah, you really just need 3 of him though, because you kind of need your other cards as well. So 3 of him. And then we have 2 Elite Mutant Giraffa, so the grade 2. of the ride chain. You only need 2 of it because of the fact that when you ride the grade 1, you basically get this card, so you play 2, so in case one goes to the damage zone, you grab the other one. You don't need any more than that, and there's so many other grade 2s that are super, super important, and it's what makes the ride chain really, really good too, is that you can just run 2 of these, and, you know, be happy with the starter, and land 4 of the grade 1. So, yeah, it's very, very good with that. So 2 of him. And then 2, Machining Hornet Mark 2. What he does is when this unit is placed on rearguard, circle if your Vanguard is in Legion, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So that's pretty handy. If you know your Vanguard's in Legion, you just call it. See if you had to put cards back in your deck or whatever, you did your Legion, and you draw this card, or yeah, you draw this card because you draw a hell of a lot. You just call it, boom. 2 of him though, because you don't normally aim for Legion. You don't get to do it too much, and also you need 1 for at least Legion mate. You of course always put cards back into the deck, so it's not hard to put one of these back into the deck and then draw it later anyways. But your other cards are just so much more important, and the grade 2 lineup's insanely tight. So, and then we have 4 damage on flipper perfect guards, your Rebellion Mutant Starshield, and then we have 4 Nova Mutant Little Dorcas, your Stride Enabler, and your Darkface Searcher, which is really good on top of the fact you have that ride chain, right? So it's like basically with this card, it's pretty much you're almost guaranteed every game unless you do not draw a single grade 3 to get to grade 3. So it's pretty easy with that. And then we have 4 Pupa Mutant Giraffa. I don't know if I said that right, sorry. Anyways, 4 of him, very, very important to run 4 because of the ride chain. He's the only one you need to run 4 of, as I said, because he's the one you have to ride, and then boom, you pretty much have the whole thing. So he's the one you'll need 4 of, and it's not a big deal because there's not like insanely important grade 1s. Your grade 2s and grade 3s and your Stride are normally the ones that make the plays anyways. So your grade 1s could be a little more flexible in that regard, and it works out. And then we have 2 Brillian Blister. So what he does is when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle from your hand, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and that unit cannot stand until end of turn. So basically he stops restanding Vanguards or restanding G units that's on your Vanguard, and anything that's Vanguard related that will restand, it stops. The awesome thing about that is that this deck, draws so much. So because you have a huge hand, you don't want to be rushed down and lose that hand advantage, especially because that's pretty much your biggest advantage, especially if your opponent calls out cards on top of other ones because they're resting. So your hand advantage is insanely important, and because of that, restanding Vanguards or Strides can really hurt you. Yeah, so 2 of those babies to handle it, just in case. Of course, the grade 1 lineup is kind of tight with the ride chain, but 2 of these is perfectly fine, honestly, because you're good with guarding it all for 1 turn, but then the next turn it could get scary. So the first one you could use this, get more pluses, and then boom, you'll have enough for the restanding Stride or Vanguard for the next turn. So that's why you only really need 2, 1 per game, pretty much. Anyways, on to our triggers. So we got 4 Bad Trip, 4 Machining Scorpio, and 4 Shelter Beetle. So yeah, 12 crit. You draw so much, as I said. So yeah, 12 crit. And then 4 Machining Bombyx. So 12 crit, 4 heal. I just decided to run the machining ones because they look nice, and there's no way to really get cards in the soul. So anyways, on to our Stride units. So we got 4 Raging Spear Mutant Deity Stun Beetle. So what he does is G-Break 2, Counterblast 2, and choose a face-down card. Name this card from your G-Zone, turn it face up. When this unit attack its Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, all your opponent's Vanguards cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase, and during your opponent's next ride phase, your opponent cannot normal ride. But he or she still may ride with an effect of cards. So you basically just stun the Vanguard. It's amazing. There's no reason to explain it. This stride is amazing. Gotta run 4 of it. Pretty much like, your main stride, like as soon as possible, and it just helps you freeze your opponent, and get just huge card advantage as well. So just amazing card. And then we have 4 Poisonous Spear Mutant Deity Paraspear. What it does is when this unit is placed on Vanguard, you rest all your opponent's units, and if the number of your opponent's rest units is 3 or more, draw a card, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. Remember, now we have a 16 G-Zone. So yeah, 4 of him is insanely helpful to just, ride him on Vanguard, resting everything, just in case something did get a stand trigger or something. Most of the time they'll be rested, so it's not a big deal. And you basically just draw a card and gain 5,000, make it a little more scary, and get more of a hand advantage. So he's really important because of that, and very, very good. And then we have 3 Dream Mutant Deity Scarabgas. So your G Guardian. So basically how G Guardians work is you choose a heal from your hand, you discard it, and then you call the G Guardian to guard circle from face down. So they can't be face up, they have to be face down. As you can see, they have a 15k shield, and they can be 20k with certain conditions. This one's condition is when this unit is placed on guard circle, if the number of your opponent's unit is at rest is 2 or more, this unit gets shield plus 5,000 until end of turn, so he becomes 20k shield, which is insanely good. On top of the fact that all your opponent's units are always going to be at rest, pretty much. So in this deck, it's very, very easy to just get a 20k shield from them, which is big. On top of the fact of your huge hand advantage, it's insane, honestly. And then we have 2 Wild Strike Mutant Deity Struggle Dipper. I almost said diaper. What he does is once per turn, counterblast 1 and choose a face down card from your G zone, and turn it face up. Choose up to 3 of your units, and they get power plus 1,000 for each of your opponent's unit that are at rest until end of turn. It's insanely good for pressure. This deck being what it is, it's a lot about just getting hand advantage and everything, and decking out is a bit of a scare for you. So this card's very, very good for just for basically just putting on, the pressure you need to, like a power pressure, to make the attacks more scary. You want to run 2 of it because you want to do it, twice normally. If you can, it's basically your finisher card. Unless you need to use Blizza because this card doesn't finish it. So, like, pretty much if all their units are at rest, which, they normally are, you'll basically get 6k on 3 of your units, and it'll be pretty strong with that, and that's actually what makes the beer more important now too. Alright, so onto your Cray Elementals. We have 1 Snow Element Blizza. You Blizza for finishing games if you really need it. You probably will. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. As I said, it's very big hand deck, so yeah. And then we have 1 Air Element Seabreeze. What she does is counterblast 2. Choose a card from your hand and discard it. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard, the number of cards in your G zone is 0. Your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2, and no unit was on your opponent's Vanguard during a ride phase of your opponent's preceding turn. Stride this card on your Vanguards from face down. So basically, this card's just very, very handy to get a stride. So if your opponent wants to stay at grade 2 and doesn't want to stride, you basically just discard a card, and stride this card if you have no face-up G units. So you'll basically get a stride even though your opponent's grade 2, and it can be very, very scary. So now there's really no grade 2 freezing because of that. And then we have one Dark Element Dismal. What she does is when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose one of your rear guards, and until end of turn that unit cannot be hit and cannot be chosen by the effects of your opponent's cards. And also on Guardian Circle, this card cannot be affected by your opponent's cards. So that's pretty handy because, you know, there are some cards that can retire Guardians, and basically this card can't be retired in that situation. And it also helps, you know, save one of your rear guards as well that you really, really need, which is very helpful. So a very, very good G Guardian, honestly. Alright, so that's about it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the super strong meta deck, you know, top 5. This is the whole deck list for it, and yeah, deck list will be in the description below as always, and I'll see you guys next time.